And so ends the year 2019. What a cascade of failure and pain it has been. Out came the games to not that much cheer, but lots of hostility and yawning and sneers that made all the publishers recoil in fear and push back the games that looked good to next year, but no amount of pushback would have been enough to lift our poor industry out of the trough of artless, exploitational, grindathon guff of lootbox live service and all of that stuff. But anyway, to close out 2019, the best and the worst and the blandest I've seen. Remnant from the Ashes, unique mix of co-op focused Souls-like dungeon crawling over shoulder shooting, could very easily have been a sandwich of flavourless paste between two fiberboard ceiling tiles, but somehow it clicked for me. I just wish these Souls-likes would take their own advice and get good before the 10 to 15 hour mark. At this time of year, it's important to remember the true meaning of blandness. It's not just for repetitive live service games. If you try to put out an interactive thriller like Man of Medan, populated entirely with characters it's impossible to like, whose actions don't matter a gnat's twat, then maybe blander claws will leave a little turd in your stocking too. It's true what they say, isn't it? You either die Spec Ops the line, or you live long enough to see yourself become the Call of Duty. It turns out that there was officially about 1.5 good games in the Wolfenstein New Order continuity, and all that's left is Wolfenstein Youngblood, which came along, burst into tears, pissed itself, and ruined their attempt at an aristocrats joke. The RE2 make is RE2 fine, whatever, but I'm troubled by the announcement of the RE3 make. This is a can that can only be kicked down the road so many times, Capcom. Where does it end? Are you going to end up taking another crack at Resident Evil 6? That'd be like when Europe took another crack at the bubonic plague. As I sort through my list of reviews from the past year, anything I struggle to remember specific things about is sorted straight into the bland pile, and that's most definitely the case with Crackdown 3. It's only in 4th place because I do pretty distinctly remember Terry Crews shouting at something. I forget what. The bleakness of the human condition, perhaps. For a time, it seemed like movie tie-in games were starting to lose their stigma, but then Blair Witch got things back on track with its spooky forest walking simulator of a type that has been overdone since before teenage girls were sacrificing each other to Slender Man. Still, what else can you do with the Blair Witch IP? A game about the rotting carcass of a horse being flogged by Lionsgate executives? You know how sometimes there's a glitch in the Hollywood system and they accidentally make a sci-fi film that's subtle, engaging and intelligent, like Moon or Arrival? That's what Observation made me think of. A bit too linear, but an interesting story uniquely told from the perspective of an AI. One that might make you a little more understanding whenever your computer is taking too long to load PUBG. Apocalypse, motorbikes, love triumphing through adversity, zombie hordes that poo on everything. It's weirdly impressive that Days Gone can have all of these things and still gravitate to total boredom like a compass needle to magnetic north. I blame the main character. You could dress Deacon St. John in a feather boa and fishnets and take him out seal clubbing and he'll just whinge the whole time about wanting to be in bed by 10. A late entry into the worst games list, late as in the late Shenmue franchise, or indeed the late Sega Dreamcast, which died partly because Shenmue killed it. Its poor design and stiff characters made it funny once, but the laughter can't be sustained through its crushingly slow pace, so now it's just bad. If you don't stop giving Yu Suzuki money, Shenmue will kill again, especially if you're allergic to shit. I was hesitant to reward Bloodstain just for being Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but it isn't that, really. What it is exactly what I wanted, for Castlevania to stop pissing about and pack all the good ideas it's had into one game, that we can finally call good without qualification. Okay, but can I make the protagonist wear a silly hat? Yes, Koji Igarashi, have all the silly hats you want. I will! I hate to be predictable, but somehow every fucking year Ubisoft tops its previous record for mindless live service overly monetized sandbox bullshit, this time with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Apparently its failure caused Ubisoft to push back all its upcoming games to reassess things, meaning that it officially sucked hard enough to suck entertainment value out of the future as well. Left Alive came to us from the place where war games, stealth games, and giant robot games meet, and apparently all three of those genres were using that spot as a communal latrine. But amid a year of games that were mostly just depressing or disappointing, Left Alive's mismatched gameplay blend and atrocious AI was a rare and special kind of terrible that I call upon whenever something needs to be hastily doused in steaming piss. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to make this my game of the year, but that was before the rest of the year's games plopped out like marbles from the nose of a remedial student. But why qualify it? Disco Elysium is great because it embodies three things that the games industry desperately needs to embrace: intelligent writing, originality, and self-abuse. Anthem is mind-numbing live service tosh with fewer original ideas than a BBC daytime television commissioner, but that's not why it's topping my blandest list. The real reason? Because while I was writing down the obvious candidates, Days Gone, Ghost Recon, I suddenly noticed Anthem on the list of 2019 releases and thought, I completely forgot about that. And that, viewers, is what gives you the edge in a mediocrity contest. I hate when publishers take the easy route by making cash-in live service looter games and slapping a familiar name onto it. Consider that for a moment. Contra Rogue Core was taking the easy route, and they still fucked it up. It's sad that Konami turned evil. It's doubly sad that they're so fucking bad at it. Contra Rogue Core is boring, lazy, and generally awful, and its attempt to bring across a devil-may-care sense of humour just adds insult to injury. Like being pursued by a monster clown that can't even be bothered to run fast or whip his dick out.